Today is the day we've been waiting for, the FOMOC meeting, or the meeting regarding if we're going to lower, or if the United States of America is going to lower or leave interest rates unchanged, is happening today. I believe it starts at 2:30 p.m. ET. On top of that, 2 crypto spot ETFs are going live. The XRP and the Dogecoin spot ETF. These are going to be through Rex Osprey. These are not traditional style spot crypto, or excuse me, these are not traditional style spot ETFs because they're under Act 40 or 1940s, not the 30s. There's like a little bit of a loophole, but those are anticipated to go live tomorrow. Rex Osprey actually posted that. It's a really big day. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that's happening because I believe Canada also cut their interest rates. There's a lot of drama between the Fed and the banks and just literally everything that's happening. Hey, Queen, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back. You guys, as always, make sure you subscribe, set alerts so you don't miss anything because I post a lot of content. I generally do like a 2 p.m. media about one specific story. And then 6 p.m. PT, I do a wrap up of everything. All right. So you guys need to subscribe so you stay up to date. I post more content than anybody else. But let's go ahead and get started because there is a lot. We're going to get a Solana ETF, baby. We're going to. There's going to be a plethora of ETFs coming. Also, I'm sick, so I'm going to stream as long as I can go. But it's just a hot mess. Kids, gotta love them. Anyways, good morning to Mr. R, Mr. Dale, Mr. Legend, Mr. D, Mr. R again, John Germain watching me on Memorex. Gorgeous Queen, Alpha Moves, Mr. Lawrence. That's makeup, honey. That's makeup. Also, too, I've got a poll at the top. Are you buying the XRP or Doge spot ETF? And it looks like so far in the lead is going to be 64% of folks that are interested in the XRP spot ETF from Rex Osprey, then 11% Doge, and then 25% both. Good morning to Tiki Tacky. And YouTube and Twitch and Rumble and everybody else. But let's get into the first story, okay? Let's get into the first story. So I'm going to stream as long as I can today. We're not going to cut. I'm going to do the second media piece. I'll give you guys an update on exactly what happened with FOMOC, with the Fed, if we are going to get lowered interest rates. But right now, the Fed meeting today. Fed is expected to cut rates today for the first time in 9 months. The decision is at 2 p.m. ET. Apologies, I said 2:30 p.m. ET. We were close. Powell's press conference is at 2:30 p.m. ET. Okay, so the decision is going to be at 2 p.m. and then the conference where Powell is going to speak is going to be at 2:30 p.m. ET. So what is that? That's like 11:30. All right. Investors will monitor Fed's tone, forward guidance, and inflation stance. Focus on the summary of economic projections for future rate outlook. And again, you guys are going to want to watch this entire video because I'm going to cover kind of all the different drama that's happening between the banks, Fed, and whatnot. And even though you're going to get the interest rate news before that, or excuse me, maybe before some of you actually watch this, it's still good to have a solid foundation on what's going on. Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about Canada. Another reason why I think we're going to lower interest rates. Canada just came out and said, our Bank of Canada lowers interest rates to 2.5% in the first cut since March. This is important because this is telling us, again, we work closely with Canada. We actually, US works closely with everybody to an extent. We're also going to talk about all the tariff drama too. So please stick around for that. But if the Bank of Canada is lowering their interest rates, I don't see why the US wouldn't do so as well. However, this is the first cut since March, and the decision is due to weaker economy, softened job market, and easing core inflation. The bank sees reduced upside risk to inflation, making a rate cut appropriate. And I think the U.S. should follow lead here because we know their job report is not accurate. I think we're in a terrible recession right now and got high levels of inflation. When you have high levels of inflation, it means you have it could mean that you have someone said, I heard another YouTuber say we will get a pullback due to the Fed cut. Is it true? It could be. It could be true. This is the thing. We don't know exactly how the market's going to react. We can assume, or we can write down in our trading and investing journal and say, hey, this is the bullish outcome and this is the bearish outcome. And then you can kind of look at those two perspectives and then you can apply that to yourself, to your own investments and whatnot. Me personally, I'm long-term. I am long-term, so I don't really care if we get a volatile correction in the market. I don't care because I am long-term Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of my crypto assets. So I don't really care because I'm here long-term. If you're somebody who's actively trading, maybe you guys are on Femex and you guys want to go and use my ref link down below and short, do whatever it is you want to do. You get $500 if you sign up to bonuses. If you sign up, again, not your keys, not your coins, not financial advice. You go and do that. This is going to pack short-term traders. This is not going to pack long-term holders. Shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. I should be fine. I've got an event to go to Friday, and then I've got all kinds of stuff. But anyways, and that's why it's important to hear different perspectives. And I always invite you guys to hear what I say, but listen to yourself. You got this. So Canada is essentially leading the way with their rate cut. So let's see what's going to happen in the U.S. Next, this is more kind of some more context into what's happening over on with the Fed and whatnot. We talked about this yesterday, but I want to remind you again. Trump pick Stephen Moran confirmed to Federal Reserve Board will also keep White House job. This is a very, very interesting move. So he was confirmed to the Fed board by a close Senate vote, 48 to 47. He's pro-crypto, and he's going to keep his job at the White House, but take unpaid leave while on the Fed. Interesting move here. The dual role raises concerns about the Fed's independence. Moran participated in the last Fed meeting where they discussed interest rate decision. What's my take on here? He's pro-crypto, so I like that. Is this the best thing for the USA? I have no idea. Do we need the Fed? We really don't. Because just a bunch of ivory towers, I think they know more than you and tell you what to do with your money and whatnot. So I don't really like the Fed. I don't think we need a Federal Reserve, but hey, what do I know? Just a dingo on the internet. 20 minutes ago, we got this. Okay, next story on the toolkit. This is from Mr. Matt. Mr. Matt, he's over at Bitwise. We've talked about Bitwise often because they are a big player in the crypto industry. Basically, he's quote tweeting Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes is ultimate Chad from the BitMEX days, all kinds of stuff. But basically, it said the post says, with Fed board members, Moran now confirmed the MSM is prepping the world for the Fed's third mandate, which is essentially yield control. And that's exactly what it's talking over here. So basically, he's saying Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. I hope Bitcoin goes to $1 million because that is going to help. Everybody that owns Bitcoin. Most of you guys hold Bitcoin. Now, next thing on the docket over here. This is from the Cobb letter. We're just going to call it the Cobb letter. So the DC Circuit rejects President Trump's bid to fire Fed Governor Cook, allowing her to participate in this week's Fed interest rate decision. Remember, about a month or so back, shout out to Queen. She's still on MLK Boulevard. That's a funny thing is like, if you live in a suburban area, I guess, or inner city, whatever, you always know that MLK Boulevard and Stephen Chavez or Chavez Street it's always busy over there. It's always busy. I don't avoid them when I'm in LA, but I will avoid them in other states because I'm not there. But anyways, back to what we're saying is, yeah, right. We're going to get rid of this. I don't know. Somebody's telling me nasty stuff on TikTok. I mean, this is a thing, whatever. Anyways, when it comes to Lisa Cook, Trump wanted to let her go for alleged mortgage fraud. She sued him. She's going to stay, or sued whatever. She's going to stay in her position. It is what it is. So that's currently what's happening with that. But she's going to get to vote on the policy. So we're going to go up or down. Either way, I don't care. I'm here long term. It's not bothering me in any way, shape or form. Now back to the Cobb letter. U.S. consumer credit jumped $16 billion in July to $5.06 trillion. The reason why we're talking about credit jumping and debt and all of this, because it all has to do with the interest rates being cut. This marks the second largest increase of the year, up $9.6 billion in June. Over the last 5 months, consumer credit has surged $103 billion. Revolving debt, which includes credit cards, rose $10 billion to $1.31 trillion, the highest level since November of 2024. Non-revolving credit, which includes auto and student loans, increased $6 billion to a record $3.75 trillion. The consumer debt mountain is growing. So why are we bringing this up? Because this has to do with interest rates. So when you have really, really high interest rates, the cost to borrow money increases unless you have a fixed rate when you originally took the loan out. And the issue is right now, most people are living month to month, even less of that, and they're taking out debt on their credit cards for food, energy, and shelter. And in order for them to potentially pay that back, we're going to need to lower these interest rates. That's exactly what's happening. Now, one of the things that's weird to me, auto and student loans increased $6 billion. So that seems like a necessity for a lot of people to take out student loans and to buy a car. And that's very interesting to me, where Americans are prioritizing their money. I don't know, interest rates are so high, I would not be buying a car. I would be buying a hoopty car. That's what I would be doing. And then college debts, that's crazy. Because the narrative is starting to shift away from a traditional college education to trade school, which trade schools I've got problems with too, because I went to one. but it's interesting to see. Interesting. Now, let's go ahead and you're going to buy a spot ETF? Yeah, you do that. You do you, baby. Yeah, it is hood. I love the hood. And I was mad because on Sunday, I wanted a fish plate from the fish market and it was closed. I was mad. Not mad, but you know how us girly girls get. I want a damn fish plate. And the fish market is so good. I love the fish market. It's my favorite. Anyways, now let's get into the charts. Shout out to Holland. Oh my God, I'm not feeling good, you guys. All right, so looks like MYX is up the most over here. So MYX is up, Sky is up, Maker is up, IMX. So it looks like the market's kind of like undecided. As always, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the SPX and see what it's doing. If you want to trade with me, you can go ahead and do so. You can do deep in the heart of Texas. This is SPX. SPX is just kind of chilling. It looks like we might have been a little bit, actually does look toppish over here on SPX. It looks like we might get a little bit of a correction. We do have some really nice support here in this little gappity gap. But if you want to trade with me, Kraken's got customer service line. Love to see it. I'm partnered with them. QR code up there, ref link down below. Also too, if you want to create like more traditional stuff, you could take a look at iTrust if that works for you. But again, I really like Kraken. I use it. It's my go-to exchange right now. So Bitcoin hit resistance at $116,000. Taking a look at our big chart over here. This is my range. Bitcoin between $111,000 and $120,000. That's what we got going on over here. SoCal hood like Whittier or East Los. Sometimes I used to hang out in Southgate a bit a long time ago. And where else? Oh, where else? I cannot remember. I don't get, and LBC too. I used to be at LBC more. I didn't really go to East Los. You can day trade on Kraken 100%. And one of the things that I like about Kraken is that it's very easy to use, mostly spot trading, and they've got customer service, and that makes me happy. Like, and they always resolve things in it, whatever. Whittier to me is not the hood though. Whittier is not the hood to me. It's not. It never was, to me at least. Echo Park. I used to hang out in Echo Park quite a bit. It's a hood now though. Is ghetto now. That's okay though. I don't go to the actual park, but I used to hang out there. I had friends there. I like Compton. It's nice. It's cute over there. I don't get out there much more because I don't want to bring my baby down there, but it was a while ago. Anyways, back to Bitcoin. Currently trading, and shout out to Pomona. Shout out to the city of Pomona. There is leverage trading on Kraken for certain users. I want to say you have to be a accredited investor. You have to double check that, but make sure to use by ref like so I get credit for it. All right, you guys. So Bitcoin's at 160. We're just considered 116,000. We're just cultured. Whittier is not the ghetto. It's not. I like Whittier. It's always been like decent to me. I'm sure there's parts. But people said the hood is Whittier. I don't think it's the hood at all. I like it. I actually want to go to downtown Whittier. There's some restaurants I want to go to there. Anyways, let's talk about this. All right. So Bitcoin, I feel like it's waiting on the Fed decision, which we should get soon. And I don't really see too much happening. Now, Ethereum currently, we had a little bit of a pop with Ethereum over here. At about 4,500, which is good. So we hope to hold the line over there. Solana is dropping. I'm going to call for support here at about 230, 229-ish. So we'll kind of see what happens over there. XRP is just kind of consolidating between 309 and about 297. Chainlink Link is also dropping as well. I will buy more Chainlink under $20. I'm going to lower this right here. Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah, I like that support better because these two candle butts over here and then this over here. But anyways, Link is dropping as well. And I think that a lot of this is going to potentially reverse once we get interest rate updates. Again, we could either pump or we could dump. I know that sounds crazy, right? Oh my gosh, that sounds crazy, right? Well, that's the way that the market works. And if you're holding on to this stuff longer term and not actively trading, like day trading, then I'm chilling. All right, Cardano's holding steady above 87 cents. We've got a Cardano and Ripple update that just dropped right before I started streaming, so I can't share with you yet. Taking a look at HBAR. HBAR is doing its thing and chilling between 22 cents and 25 cents. So it is what it is. Now let's get back into the Fed meeting. So, this is live coverage from Investopedia. What's going on? Live, what does that mean? Oh, let's see. Can I click on this? I don't know what the hell's happening. Let's see. Hold on. What's going on in Investopedia? Yeah, it just says live coverage. Anyways, let's get into some market news. We have Ripple news over here. Again, Ripple is integrating themselves into the Ripple, or Kraken does have decent fees. HBAR to take some of Swift. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything on that matter. Baby. It could. I don't know. Now, Ripple. What makes stablecoin truly useful? They're talking about stablecoins over here primarily because the Genius Act and whatnot. Now, stay with me. We got a lot more to cover, which entails what's going on with the Fed and what's going on with crypto in general. So key points from this blog, because it's long. Genius Act brings regulatory clarity, pushing stablecoins into mainstream finance. Stablecoins vary widely. Some are built for scale and global finance. Others confined to niche and closed ecosystems. True stablecoins must focus on interoperability. Key word here, because remember when they dropped rlusd, it was on XRPL and Ethereum. Tells you that just tells you a lot there. Trust, compliance, and scalability. Launching a stablecoin requires compliance, liquidity management, transparent reserves, and regulatory alignment, aka the Genius Act. Many create closed loops, limiting liquidity and broader financial integration. Biggest stablecoin opportunities lie in emerging markets to improve remittances, access, and settlement speed. rlusd is an example of a compliant first, fully backed, scalable stablecoin built for cross-border payments. And I agree with them to an extent. So again, Ripple is submerging itself more into traditional finance. And I love when they put these reports out because it gives you a little bit of hint is what their next move is. And this is from Jack McDonald. Now, further talking about Ripple / XRP. Vivo powered to procure XRP at up to 65% discount by exchanging mined tokens from expanded digital asset mining fleet. Let's go ahead and cover this for all the XRP people. So basically, their mining arm of Vivo Power, Carrot Digital, is expanding its mining fleet through bulk rig discounts. Mine tokens include Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge, and they're going to be swapped to XRP. So basically what they're doing is they're taking the coins that are mineable that they have. It sounds like they're going to take profits and they are going to buy XRP. They will get XRP at an estimated 65% discount, which is awesome for them. That's an amazing deal. Vivo Power recently transitioned to an XRP treasury strategy. The NASDAQ ticker is VVPR, not financial advice. And goal is to become the first XRP-focused digital enterprise with deep ecosystem integration. And that's what I want to see. And I think that when we're doing, I think that when we're paying attention to DATS, digital asset treasury strategies, or the crypto companies that want to put crypto or Bitcoin on their balance sheet, I think positive fundamental analysis would be the ones that are actually adding to their ecosystem. Like if they're going to add Ripple's ecosystem to their business model, that's cool to me. I like that. Like rlusd for payment or whatever, whatever that may be. But that's how I would look at fundamental analysis. Now, Forward Industries to launch 4 billion share to offer fund Solana plans. So Solana's coming in hot over here. They filed a 4 billion at the market equity offering with the SEC. An at-the-market equity offering is a way for a firm to gradually sell newer issued shares into the open market and current price instead of all at once. Forward Industries NASDAQ ticker #Forward. Proceeds from the offering will fund its Solana treasury strategy, working capital, asset acquisitions, and other expenses. So I think what they're probably also going to do is they're probably going to stake Solana. And I think that we're going to see quite a few of these companies, the treasury, the DATs, stake the asset as well. So almost like dividends two-way. Now we've got some SUI news. So SUI pumped about 4% after Google selected it as primary launch partner for AI payments protocol. This is an interesting story. And we know that Google owns YouTube, right? So I'm curious to see if YouTube is going to eventually come out with their own stablecoin for tipping and that type of stuff. I mean, I don't know. Then again, this is just me talking out loud. So SUI was selected as a launch partner for Google's AI for agent payment protocols. It allows AI agents to autonomously handle financial transactions for users. It bridges smart contracts, real-world payment system, and AI automation. And CoinDesk noted signs of institutional accumulation in SUI following the news. Now, one of the things I want to say is I feel like when we're talking about AI getting integrated into crypto blockchains and whatnot, well, that's why we want to call Bradley. That's why we want to remove the accredited investor law, because it's a over here. You know, it's a barrier. But I wonder, but again, when we're talking about AI doing all of these tasks as far as for just smart contracts and whatnot, I think that that's going to be, I think that AI is a good usage for, or use case for different cryptos as far as smart contracts and bridging and whatever. So it just does it for you. Because again, the end user, people like myself, we don't have time for this. We don't. I'm starting to feel a little peckish. I actually really want a toasted cream cheese sandwich with cucumber so bad, and dill, but I don't have dill. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. More spot ETFs. Tuttle Capital, they came out with some colorful income ETFs. Oh gosh, let's see this over here. So apparently they followed to launch crypto income ETFs for SUI, bonk, and litecoin. They plan to use financial option strategy that limits potential losses and gains to reduce the impact of price swings in the asset. The ETF aims to provide strategy income while tracking daily price movements of these cryptos. These are getting a little bit crazy. Good for you, Anthony. I don't care. I don't dress for you. I dress for myself. No, I'm going to eat. I'm tired, dude. But not right now. 21 Shares hits 50 crypto ETPs in Europe with launch of AI and radium-focused products. And it's going to be an AFET. All right. So basically, it tracks decentralized AI projects, protocols, Fetch.ai, Singularity. I haven't heard about that one for a while. Ocean, Kudos. I actually have a bag of Kudos from last cycle. Nice. A-Ray offers exposure to Radium Ray. And 21 Shares now offers 50 physically backed crypto ETPs across Europe. I will take a nap soon. I got to finish a lot of stuff. I've got stuff on my list. Okay. Bitwise also fired for a stablecoin and tokenization ETF. They will invest in both stocks and crypto assets. This one's interesting. We love James. He always answers all my silly questions. So the ETF is split 50-50 between equities and crypto asset ETPs, focuses on stablecoin tokenization leaders, quarterly rebalancing, and expected to launch by Thanksgiving. Wendy, why are we talking about all these crypto spot ETFs all the time? Well, because John, that's rude. Dill relish and dice jalapeno. Why are we talking about all these crypto spot ETFs? We're talking about the crypto spot ETFs because I have a very, 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 very strong feeling that we will pump like crazy, fingers crossed, on both the stock market and the crypto markets once we get the rates to go down a little bit, and once we get the crypto spot ETFs approved, because that's going to be the liquidity we need to push stuff up. That's what I think is going to happen. But again, I'm wrong. And my perfume smells so good. So that's why we're talking about this. Now, Bitwise says, what is going on over here? Let's read over here. One of the largest $1 trillion plus banks in the country, $1 trillion, has onboarded Bitwise. He can't say who the bank is, but basically he's saying that they have onboarded Bitwise and an asset manager. And the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF has been approved for access and manage accounts and brokerages by over 10,000 wealth managers. This is actually a massive story, not because they're really going to be, well, the bank having this much money is big, but more importantly, this part over here. BitB, the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, has been approved for access and manage accounts and brokerage by over 10,000 wealth managers. So when we're talking about a wealth manager is basically somebody who's like helping to manage portfolios or doing whatever. So basically, if you work at a particular company, you're a wealth manager or financial advisor, you're shilling certain products to certain people. Okay? That's what you're doing. So basically, it's like, hey, you're legally allowed to say, buy this. So 10,000 of these wealth managers were allowed to say, or are going to now be pushed saying, hey, buy BitB. So it's going to be a great competition for BlackRock. All right. Allegedly, Michael Saylor's in Washington, D.C. to help advance the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Love to see it. He is a bull. I wonder what kind of coffee they have. Anyways, U.S. retail investors buy nearly twice as much Bitcoin as Ethereum, and this is according to Chain Analysis. This is an interesting story over here, honestly. So apparently, retail bought 2.7 of Bitcoin on centralized exchanges in June 2024 to July 25. Retail bought 1.5 trillion of ETH, and USDT ranked third with 454 billion. Well, of course, they're not really going to buy Tether unless you're going to take it and you're going to off ramp it somewhere else. But whatever. But this is interesting that more people are believing in Bitcoin than Ethereum. But Ethereum probably has more ROI. But again, these people probably did really well by buying Bitcoin because you have to remember back in 2024, no one was really, Ethereum was not being talked about a lot because Solana was taking the lead, which again, great competitor. Now, Spanish banking giant Banco Santander rolls out retail crypto services, which is really, really cool. Cool stuff over here. So it launches Germany first, but it launches retail crypto trading via Open Bank, available tokens, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Pol, which is Matic, Polygon, and ADA. This is pretty big stuff. Love to see it. Open Bank will add more tokens and features, and they plan to extend crypto services to Spain. And Open Bank already offers stock funds and ETFs. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this. This is a good one I want to talk to you guys about because I think it's very important. So you guys know that we partner with Binance every once in a while, but Binance is offering a initiative, okay? And it's called Binance Academy. And we do talk about Binance quite often, and we are partnered with Binance on today's episode of the O Show. But basically, Binance Academy offers free education. And one of the things I love about Binance is they have a whole sector of blogs that you can go through and you can self-educate yourself. And I absolutely love that because we preach a lot about self-education here. The way that I really learned to become a little bit more well-versed in crypto is I would spend 10 minutes a day educating myself when I had my 9-to-5 job. And fast forward from end of 2017 to now 2025, I am a stay-at-home mom. I get to work from home. I get to be super close to my kid when she needs me. Remember, guys, she was not feeling well on Monday. I kept her home. And because of crypto and because of self-education, I was able to live this really awesome life. And this is why I absolutely love what Binance Academy is doing because it offers free education. And it's got resources on blockchains and crypto projects, security, trading, and more. Super great for beginners. And what they're actually doing right now is they're running a little bit of a competition. This is their post over here. If you'd like to enter the Humans of Binance movement, you follow Binance, share your inspiring story in the comments using hashtag Binance, or excuse me, hashtag Humans of Binance, and you got to fill the form out. And they're giving 20 winners 400 USDC each. So I thought that's a wonderful initiative. And they've got a lot of really cool stories here. Like my story's neat, but a lot of these people from way back all over the world globally, they've got wonderful stories here. So I think it's super cool. And I absolutely love to see it. So shout out to Binance for providing free education. Okay. I absolutely love to see it. So there's that. Now, moving forward, I want to, where are we with the stream? Oh, we're almost at 30 minutes. So I'm going to go. I've got more stuff for you guys tomorrow. Remember, I'm going to be putting out a second media piece once I find out what's happening with interest rates. But I do want you guys to finish watching this because CoinDesk said rate cut was 25 BPS. Woo! Awesome. Well, you got everything you needed to know in the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to our partners today over at Binance. Sending y'all love and light, and I'm going to put out a media piece for you guys around closer to 2 p.m. PT with kind of what exactly is happening with the rate cuts. So there's that, and if we're going to start moving or not. But again, thank you guys so much, and sending y'all love and light, and I'll see you 2 p.m. PT and 6 p.m. PT, and then tomorrow again. Bye-bye. We got our rate cut, my loves.